Welcome to Far From Eden. Happy Sunday. We're a little bit of red pill content and some sprinkle of conspiracy theories. Oh, we got a little bit of everything going on over here. So I'm glad you guys are here. And today I have a confession. I've not watched the Manosphere channel ever. And I saw an interesting video that I guess it's just his channel he released, and it's this crazy predicament going on right now where they're called gray divorces. The fact that there's a name, it's insane. But it's like people have been married for decades, right? And the woman is just calling it quits after all of that, after raising children, everything. It's like, 10, 20, 30 years of marriage. I cannot imagine. Anyway, so this is a video. Apparently, according to the title, she has filed for divorce. I almost said committed a divorce, which is actually more accurate. She's filed for divorce after 30 years, and apparently she regrets it. And I could tell you that. They're all going to regret it. They all are going to regret it. They're not going to admit it. I guess some are admitting it, maybe online. Maybe that's what's getting the clicks now. And that's good, because women need to understand, consequences. And you leave a marriage after 10, 20, 30 years, and it's like you're just setting it on fire, and you're not realizing all of the wonderful things that you had in that marriage. You're just taking it for granted. And shocking, you miss it when you push it off a cliff. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing this woman be sad that she regretted it. I know I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person, but I like watching these things with you guys too, because your comments are amazing. Well, you've been through it. I know I'm not making light of it. It's just that you have to have a chuckle. I know we've talked about that before. I get through it with laughter. I think it's I have a theory that that's where dry British humor comes from. I imagine, this little sidetrack, I imagine people during the air raids of World War II. I imagine them, in their bomb shelters or what have you. And you're say you're in London. My great grandfather was a police officer during the bombing of London in World War II. Anyway, so I've heard these sort of stories. And so I have a theory that that's where dry British humor comes from, because you're hunkering down and you're just and it's a defense mechanism. So that's what I do. So please don't ever think that I take any of this lightly. Not at all. It's just a survival mechanism, to deal with it. Probably some of it was learned from my father dealing with my mother, but that's a whole different topic. Anyway, so let's have a look at this woman, see what she's got to say.
Where you're ending your relationship with your best friend.
So this is HL Talk That Thought, not Manosphere.
And then you're left with
There's another video I'm doing today too. Goodness.
So I understand the point. He was a good dad. He was a good husband.
What?
He just lacked in a very major area. I don't know how to fill this huge gap. I had an active household. Now I don't have that at all. And I just don't know how to replace it. Is how lonely it made me feel.
I just have to take a pause real quick because it's bugging me. Because I said Manosphere video in the beginning, because that's another video that I'm doing today. And thank you guys for putting up with my MS brain. When I've forgotten a person's name or, something like this, it's very frustrating and scary for me. And you don't know how many videos I've started and had to start over because of stuff like that. And I just want to say thank you that you put up with it. That's the fun MS brain playing tricks on me. So this is HL Talk That Thought. So that's what we're doing. So sorry.
Feel for what I have now and what I've lost. So for those women that are in the same situation where you're ending the relationship with your best friend after 30 years of a marriage, I sympathize. I understand the pain.
Welcome back, family. Today, we are going to review this modern woman who decided to leave her 30-year-old marriage to go back to the streets just to get pumped and dumped. Let's first start by watching her admitting that her ex-husband was actually a great dad and a great husband.
This is a very complicated point, and this is one of the things that I faced that was the hardest for me to make the final decision to leave, is because he's not a bad dad. He's a great dad. My children were blessed with a very good father. And honestly, I had a really good husband. Other than these issues, I understand.
What?
But in terms of like sharing parental responsibilities, sharing responsibilities around the house, grocery shopping, cooking, like all of that, he was a good provider. So I think that was I definitely struggled with making my final decision to call it over because
I struggled. Well, I'm glad you struggled when you went to shatter your family. I'm glad it was a difficult decision, to break people's hearts. You know what? These parents who think, well, we'll get divorced when the kids are older, it will be better for them. Maybe, maybe not. But let me tell you something. My parents divorced when I was like 22. I mean, when you break the family, you break the family. And this woman has the nerve to talk about, for people who are in that situation. It didn't just happen to you. What is wrong with you? He's a good dad. He does all the, stuff like helps you around the house, probably also works. You look like, you've lived pretty well. I can kind of sense them. And that's the problem. She literally has lived in so much comfort and everything has been so easy. She's taken it for granted. She's not grateful. She's not truly grateful for any of the things she just listed. Because if she were grateful for those things, she would stay in the marriage. This is the problem with no-fault divorce. This is the problem with just thinking, divorce. No, knock it off. You stay in your marriage. It's a commitment. It's not just a commitment to that person. It's a commitment to higher authority, or it should be. And hopefully that authority is not government, because, right? Like, what does that matter? And that's why they're doing this, because there's no higher level of morality. She gets to decide based on her feelings. And I'll tell you something right now. This might be a little too much information, but I'll tell you right now, she's probably just going through menopause. Honestly, she's probably having crazy hormones going through menopause. She should be rocking her grandbabies, right? I mean, how much makeup do we have caked on our face right now? How young are we trying to look? Clearly, a lot of work is going into looking very young. And your grandma age. What are you trying to do? Like, I like how HL was like, just going back to the streets. Can you imagine? Like, this is insane. Like, imagine 50, 60 years ago, grandmas are just like out on the dating scene. There wasn't even like a dating scene like there is now. It's crazy. Okay, let's go back to her. This is like that one lady, I divorced the good guy. Nasty.
Because he was my best friend. I've read my journal on like the day before I got that May 1st letter in 2019. I was happy. we called each other multiple times throughout the day. If I ever have a win of any kind, he would be my first call. I lost all of that. I mean, other than the friends that I also lost, I lost my best friend.
You didn't.
And I've not replaced that.
You didn't lose your best friend. You stomped on him. You stomped on him, lady. You didn't lose your best friend. Good Lord. They have no heart. They have no, where is your soul? Where is your soul? How can you can't, so mad, so mad. So mad.
That person. I just don't have anybody to call now if I have a win.
Good.
Which is probably part of this TikTok. So I'm sure there's other women out there that have felt the same thing, where you're ending your relationship with your best friend. And then you're left with nobody.
Good.
So I understand the point. He was a good dad. He was a good husband. He just lacked in a very major area.
What area?
Fucking complicated for the person who finally has to call it over.
What area? What?
So for those women that are in the
have to call it over. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have to figure out what's wrong with you. If you're wanting to leave your marriage like this, lady, you are the problem, because nobody should want to do that. Nobody should think that this is okay. That should be the thought. Why would this enter my mind? Oh my gosh, what is the matter with me? It's not him. I think her hormones are, honestly, I do. I want to be like, I think you're having some problem. Maybe, you don't have enough estrogen or something. What in the heck? And just acting like it just happened. It's always that way. Like when they say, I became pregnant. Like, you don't become pregnant, okay? You did something for that to happen.
In the same situation where you're ending the relationship with your best friend after 30 years of a marriage, I sympathize. I understand the pain.
What the hell would you end a freaking 30-year-old marriage with a great husband and come to cry on social media for sympathy? If your husband was such a great man, why don't you focus more on the positive side of things and less on the negatives? That is how you can compromise and gradually work on your differences as a couple. This is one of the ways successful couples actually do things. I personally know why she left her 30-year-old marriage, and I will show it to you at the end of the video. But right now, we are going to watch her cry while regretting her decision of leaving her husband when loneliness hits hard.
So I promise that I will always be as honest as possible with all y'all. And I was humming and hawing as to whether I was going to post this. But I know I'm not the only one who has this issue. The unintended consequences that I didn't foresee going to Easter dinner on Sunday is how lonely it made me feel for what I have now and what I've lost. And
I have to do it every time. Lady, you didn't lose it. You burned it down. Okay? You didn't just lose it. You just destroyed it. Take responsibility. Like, she's talking about consequences. Like, I'm glad you understand the concept. It's too bad you don't understand accountability.
I spiraled and have been in bed for the last 2.5 days. Total honesty. I actually had a session with my therapist on Thursday, and I had said to her that I just don't know how to replace this chasm of emptiness that I have in my life. And
wow.
I don't.
Wow.
for all of you that have gone through this and, started again later in life, especially in a brand new city, I don't know how to fill this huge gap. And, I had an active household. And now I don't have that at all. And I just don't know how to replace it. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know.
I have some ideas. Get a time machine, go back in time, and when you had that thought that you were going to leave your husband, who's a wonderful, wonderful man, smack your own self in the face and knock it off. Otherwise, lady, you're done. You're done. You know what? There are some you cannot unring some bells. You just can't. And you know what? You're done. You're done. You can never undo that pain that you have caused. And you think you have consequences. You didn't think for 1 second how these people would feel, how your husband would feel, how your children would feel. You didn't think about that. You didn't think about how your in-laws would feel, how your family would feel. You've been in a marriage for 30 years. You've made connections and bonds. There are, like she said, Easter, right? You're not just married to the person, it's the whole entire family. You're supposed to be. I mean, you change your last name to his last name. They're your family, not anymore. And you're sad now? Well, how do you think they feel? She doesn't. It's still all about her. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, I'm turning into a sociopath because I watch her say all this stuff and feel sad and cry and whatever, and I do not feel sorry for her. I actually, there's some satisfaction, because it's like, I mean, is it because it's a little bit of justice? Maybe. But those, I know what the family feels like because I was one of the kids, not her kid, but I was one of the kids, and it's not good.
I would love to hear how you did it.
No, you already had a lovely home, and you decided to destroy it because of your own selfish desires. Guys, this woman decided to divorce her husband and leave the city where they lived for over 24 years, just so that she can be free to ride the cock carousel like it was 1999. In this next clip, she will demonstrate by herself how she is really from these streets by showing you how many sexual partners she had in less than 2 years after she left her husband.
Ew.
Okay, I saw this message and I thought, you know what, that's fair. So I just thought I would recap like the ones that you don't have to worry about anymore. And then I'm like, I don't know what this list says about me, but
Ew.
these people are they're not around anymore. So it doesn't matter. So I mean, I could create a spreadsheet, but this is who's remaining. I don't know, that's going to be backwards, but so Mars, Polo, and RV. So let's talk a little bit. So Mars I've actually been seeing since November of last year, and it's friends with benefits. Let's just be honest. He is attractive as all get out. He's younger. He's around 40. He's intelligent and lovely, and we see each other every couple of weeks, and I really, really like him. But that's what that is. So Polo, I started seeing a week and a half ago. He's a year older than me. So he's 56. Oh, wait, I'm 56. We're the same age. I forgot I turned 56. And he's lovely, and I really enjoy spending time with him. It's only been a week and a half, so we're early days. So, and then RV, little disappointing this weekend. It was his birthday, and I had said, hey, if you want to get together, we can do something, even though we haven't really seen each other much in the last few weeks. So he's like starting to edge over to like this side. I'm not willing to give up on him yet, even though all my girlfriends just said I don't want to hear about him anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not willing to give up, but he's giving me no indication that he's at all interested. So I'm kind of being anyways. So that's who's remaining. I'm not looking to add anybody. I'm off the apps. I'm not looking to add anybody into the roster right now. I think we're good. So
I'm so grossed out right now. I did not think this is where the video was going to go. I had no idea she was going to have a whiteboard with a roster explaining to us who she's doing. Does she think she's Samantha from Sex and the City? What's happening here? Okay. Let me decode. I can affirm to you that she is desperately trying to recapture her youth and feel desired, wanted, all of those things. Apparently, a good husband who works and provides and, you know, you've raised children with, that's not enough. It's this being desired sexually. For some reason, women think that that means that they're valuable as a woman. And it does not. It really doesn't. These guys she's describing, they're not interested in her the way her husband was, you know? And she has no idea. She literally thinks that those men are giving her something that she was not getting from her husband that's somehow valuable. It's like, no, it isn't. I'm just telling you, like, it was so much better back in the day when these temptations were not there. Because clearly, women don't know which tree to eat from, right? This is why the name of the channel is Far From Eden, because it started there, and I just see it almost like the same exact thing, you know, repeating, but it's not fruit, it's polo and whatever else she nicknamed her, you know, the guys on her carousel. Disgusting lady. This is why STDs are on the rise in, you know, senior citizens. She said she's 56. Good Lord. When I was a kid, I remember my grandparents being in their 50s when I was, you know, what, 10? And here she is with a roster. This is what she traded in her family for, to get filled out like an application? It's disgusting. She's so disgusting. It's just absolutely vile. I have lived a very sheltered life. The multiple sclerosis, I just withdrew into myself, spent like all the time on the farm, didn't go out, didn't have girlfriends, this, that, the other. I've never been to a bachelorette party in my life. I don't do girls' trips. I don't have any of that. And I never felt like I wanted it, even before the diagnosis. So it is just shocking. It's very easy to shock me. Oh my God. She should be so ashamed of herself. I mean, what do her children think? Gross.
Yeah, I hope that helps.
Oh,
I'm not quite sure what this says about me, but anyways, that's where we're at. Okay, I'll have updates this week. Bye, everybody. I have a date with Polo tomorrow night. Okay, bye.
Ew.
Ma'am, you asked what this list says about you. Well, this list reveals that you are 100% for the streets. As you guys can see right now on your screen how she decided to start going to the gym to work out so that she can look good for Chad and Tyrone. These modern women never put so much effort to look their best for their husbands when they are in their marriages. But they sure do when they want to go have some fun in these streets. I will now show you the real reason all these modern women divorce their husbands. They destroy their families just so that they can chase after Chad and Tyrone's validation. In this next clip, you will see the excitement of this woman talking.
It is for validation because it is not. It is not. I swear I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. It is not for sexual appetite. At her age, again, this is menopause time for her. She's probably past perimenopause. She's probably all the way through it. So if she's having like the physical drive just isn't there. It's 100% a desperate attempt to maintain to make herself feel young. Look at how she's doing her hair. I mean, I can tell, like she clearly grew up in the 80s. Obviously we know that because she's 56, but like she's going back to her youth with her hairstyle and even the way that she's talking. I can tell she's learning to do her eye makeup differently, but she's like adding an affect. I apologize for the fan. My new equipment is here. I just need one more thing tomorrow, and it's warm here today. I can't get too hot, so it's the air conditioner. Anyway, yeah, it's a desperate attempt to hold on to her youth. It's not so that she can feel like physical pleasure or get kind of like a release. You know, honestly, she's probably faking it, and she's doing it because it's not that easy for women, okay? We do not have the drive that we pretend to have. We think you guys like it. We think it makes us more attractive. Okay, so women do not have that kind of drive. Think about it. If they had that kind of drive, they'd be having sex like men. You know, because we can do it. I mean, it's so easy. I just walk outside right now and find a dude. Like, it's all women can, but they don't. And if we had that appetite, we would be doing that, but we're not. We don't. And so that's baloney. She just thinks it makes her look attractive. This is all a performance. It's completely a performance.
Talking about her, Chad, so that you guys can understand what I am talking about.
Okay, Mars. So we had messaged, I think we met on Tinder, and we had started messaging probably in October, and just flirtatious. Yeah, his nickname was Mars is because he has a job involving space and stuff like that. So anyway, so it was just an easy nickname. And so around 40, attractive, and it was my first ever friends with benefits. And we met up for the first time in November, and consistently seeing each other until about just a few weeks ago. Anyways, I'll explain why. But man, if there was a way for a woman to feel desirable again, it is to it's to spend some time with somebody that, one, knows what they're doing, but then also just, I don't know, ladies, but mwah, he's great. And yeah, it was always the joke whenever I start dating somebody, it's like, it's important if they make me end it with Mars. Yeah, that good. On so many levels. And you know what, honestly, we would have great conversations as well. It wasn't just the physical. We would have fantastic conversations. And so, Mars. Yeah.
Now, let's have a look at how she keeps on pursuing her Chad even after he dumps her.
So this message is very timely because I was actually just about to make a TikTok because I actually heard from him yesterday. And so we're hopefully getting together in the next couple of days. So I know I still have to bring you up to speed on everything and as to like why we stopped communicating about 6 weeks ago. But I heard from him Friday. And yeah, I think we're going to meet up in the next couple of days. So I will let you know.
Look at the excitement she has for someone that don't even give a about her.
Guys, I forgot to tell you, I saw Mars last weekend. I totally forgot to update you. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, it's been such a crazy week. Yeah, we saw each other last weekend. It was lovely. So anyways, just wanted to update you on that.
Whether a modern woman is
Do women think this is interesting? Do people watch this that aren't criticizing it? Like, literally, are like other women watching this? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. I don't know. I don't have any female friends. I don't have any friends really. So, like, what? I don't think women her age, my age, I don't think they're watching this. I am sorry, but you are old. I think she does think she's on Sex and the City. I think she thinks she's Carrie talking about like when she had the voiceover. I think that this lady is in full-on delusion. It's insane. Wow.
18 or 55. They all act like teenagers most of the time. They react and make life-changing decisions by following their feelings. Remember that she even left her city so that she can go away to fulfill her need of being a 304. After all her debaucheries, she tries to come back to her city and cries after reality settle in. Let's watch.
So I'm still in the town where I had left when I left 2.5 years ago. It's been interesting. It's been melancholy in a sense that I came back, and as soon as people knew I was back, my phone blew up. And, you're just instantly surrounded by people who know and love you and know your story. And I saw my son, and I met his new girlfriend, and she's lovely. I've connected with my mom in that we've texted, but she's actually not in town. She's actually in the hospital in another city, which I just found out when I got here. And so...
I'm sorry. You didn't know your mother was in the hospital until you came into this. You're too busy being a 304. You don't know your mother's in the hospital. Lady, you're the age you should be rocking grandbabies, teaching your daughters-in-law and daughters, how to be new mothers, and you should be starting to care for your aging parents and your husband. But instead, we're out there trying to, get basically attention for ourselves and pretend we are some kind of celebrity superstar in demand. Like, it's not an accomplishment as a woman to say, oh my gosh, so many men want to sleep with me. So they don't know what's valuable at all. Oh,
that's still a work in progress. Complicated. These maternal relationships are so freaking complicated. So there's been a lot of tears while I've been here. Honestly, did I make the right choice of moving away from here where I had so much support to a city where I didn't have anybody? And I'm still trying to figure it out and make it home. And I mean, I definitely have friends and stuff in the new city, but yeah, you forget that it's not the same as where you left. I was here for 20 years, 24 years. So it's a process.
Guys, when you see older women who are single and complaining about how there is no good men left to date them, do not feel sorry for them. They probably brought it on themselves like this woman. She had a family that loved her. She had a community that cared about her.
Yeah.
She had friends that supported her. But what did she choose to do? She chose to leave everything and everyone behind just so that she can go chase Chad and Tyrone. My dear, you thought that you could do better than your husband? Well, you played yourself. Fellas, protect yourselves at all times and avoid these types of women like the plague. And above all, don't forget to keep your head up, focus on your goals, and everything else will follow. I love you and I appreciate you for all your support. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share to help push this content to more men in need. I'm out.
Yes. Yes, go and sub his channel if you haven't already. Very good content. I really enjoy it. I learn what's going on out there, and I learn your all's perspective. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do we all feel like we need to take a shower after that? Ugh. I kind of wanted more. I kind of wanted the next stage where she's like, I made a mistake, because she's going to get to that point. I don't know if she'll admit it to, her followers, but the other thing is like, it's unbelievably selfish. Not only has she done this, she is documenting it and trying to justify it. She's talking about all her 304 escapades for the world to see. What about your husband and your children? They're gonna see, their friends are gonna see this. Like, it's you have brought shame upon your whole family. And remember when that was a thing? You didn't want to bring shame onto yourself or your family. There's no more shame. Shame is mean. You need to bring back shame. Goodness gracious, you guys, I feel dirty now. So, the original video, as always, as I have learned, will be in the description. The link will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching this. Oh my gosh. But some of you have lived it, and maybe your ex-wife wasn't, on TikTok. Praise the Lord. But, I'm sure your mind goes, well, what is she out there doing? I cannot understand the mentality of thinking that somehow makes you valuable. I don't understand how you don't understand how disgusting that is. I don't know. But I'm over here like, well, I don't know. This is, sleeveless. Is it immodest? Because this is a dress that I, used to wear to church when I used to go to church before it was infected with feminism. I haven't found a good traditional church around here. Everything is like female pastors and, lukewarm things, and it's a hospital for sinners, and it's like, no, you're just making it look like the world. So I thought, well, I will still, I'm gonna wear a dress on Sundays. I can be reverent without a building and whatever. So, but anyway, my whole point is like, I was like, oh, is this immodest? Now that I've, thought, I'm not sure, but this lady's just sharing her body with all these people. I'm like, oh, okay. Whew. This is why I watch stand-up comedy, because yuck. Thanks for hanging out. I love you guys. Please take care. Enjoy your Sunday. And I hope you're doing something that feeds your soul. And I will see you guys in the comments and around. Hopefully get to my emails. I know. It's bad. I know. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining me on this. Bye.